right, so we're gonna stand at the front of your mat. Big toes together. Now, it's important to note that this is your practice today. I'll be making some suggestions. I feel like the top of my head is cut off. Is that accurate? I'll be making some suggestions today. I'm going to mute everybody in just a moment. But if you find that something works better for you or you need a break, take a break. Grab water whenever you want it. This is your practice day. I'm so glad that you're here with us today, starting off your day, or maybe it's in the middle of the day, depending where you are. Okay, so I'm going to mute everybody. Any other last minute things before we get started? All right. Mute and then we'll get going. Fantastic. All right, so you're standing at the top of your mat, big toes together in Tadasana or mountain pose. Okay, a nice tall spine, tucking your hips a little bit, slight gap between your heels. Looking out right in front of you. And before we get going, just inhale and bring your shoulders all the way up to your knee, or all the way up to your knees, all the way up to your ears. Inhale. And exhale, round them back and drop them down your back. Bringing your palms facing forward. Gaze in front of you, slightly down. Tucking your hips, strong core. Inhale once more. Exhale, close your eyes, bring your hands to heart center. Taking some deep breaths here. Deep breath in. Sigh out your mouth. Another deep breath in. Bigger exhale. Take one more breath on your own. Inhale, hands high. If you haven't already, clasp your hands so that they're still in prayer, and then just lean over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. We're going to hold it here. So just inhale and exhale at your own pace. Being mindful of your breath. Nothing to change, just recognizing that it's there. And it's there for you. Maybe turn your gaze, look up at your hands, look up at the ceiling. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Hands to heart. And you're going to lift your right leg. Grab your right knee with your left hand, and we're going to do a standing twist. So you can bring your right arm out to the side, and then bring it behind you, and just breathing. Just a slight twist here as we stand and wake up our body. When you inhale, try to lengthen that spine a little bit more. Exhale, try to twist. Can you look at your hand that's behind you? Could you lift your knee a little bit higher? One more inhale. Exhale, foot to mat, hands to heart center. And we're going to switch sides. So lift your left leg, right hand on your left knee, left arm out to the side. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Again, trying to go back to that Tadasana, or that mountain pose form, where you have a strong core, your shoulders are away from your ears. Always coming back to your breath. One more inhale here. Exhale, foot to mat, hands home. You're going to keep your hands in your prayer and reach them all the way up. And then you're going to do a slight back bend, bringing your arms with you. If you've ever done 26 and 2 or Bikram hot yoga, they call this half moon. So you're slightly bending back, breathing into it. When you exhale, can you go a little bit deeper? Keeping in mind this is still the beginning of your practice. Core is still strong, hips are tucked. Can you bring your arms back a little bit more? Can you bring your head to meet it? Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands home. Go ahead and meet me in your downward facing dog. As we go through our slow flow practice today, breathing, as always, is extremely important. When you get to your downward facing dog, by the way, you may want to go into your plank first to kind of gauge where you want your hands to be. When you're in your plank, try to have your shoulders right over your wrists, and then just push on back into downward facing dog. Hips high, shoulders melting toward the mat. Drop your head, gaze between your feet. If this doesn't feel comfortable, you find yourself rounding, bend your knees a little bit, and then see if you can get that long spot. Walk it out a little bit here, bend your left knee, bend your right knee. You bring your hips from side to side. Whatever feels good. Move your head around. I love this one. Back to our breath. So when we're going through our poses today, it's important to always come back to your breath. So there's something I like to use called Ujjayi breath, which it's always breathing in and out through your nose. It's a way to help your body kind of come back into its own, settle down a little bit. So when you do this, and you can do this while we're in your downward facing dog, whether you found stillness now or still moving around a little bit, when you use your Ujjayi breath, you're going to do a deep inhale through your nose. And then when you exhale, it kind of sounds like an ocean. You can put your tongue on the top, on the roof of your mouth, and then exhale. You're kind of constricting your throat a little bit, and then exhaling that way. So it sounds a little like this. So if on your exhale, it sounds like some ocean sounds, not only are you at the ocean, you're using your breath to really breathe into these poses, which is amazing. So you can always come back to that breath. So let's do some together here. Deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your nose, make it sound like an ocean. Tongue on the roof of your mouth will help that to really settle right into your breath there. One more inhale here. All the way out. Awesome, nice job. Come forward to your high plank. So shoulders right over your wrists. Okay, nice long spine. Now we're slowly gonna shift our weight forward. And then when we start to drop, we're gonna go into chaturanga, nice and slowly. Okay, keeping your elbows right by the sides of your body and breathing. So drop down just to 90 degrees. So settle down, drop down into your chaturanga, stay here. Flip to the tops of your feet. Very low, upward facing dog. I even dropped my knees this time for the first time, just to ease into it a little bit. And then push back, downward facing dog. Come forward, high plank, inhale. Drop chaturanga, exhale. Flip to the tops of your feet, upward facing dog, inhale. Roll over the tops of your feet, downward facing dog, exhale. See if you can find your Ujjayi breath here, your ocean breathing. Nice job, everybody. I can't hear you, but I feel like I can hear you. Inhale here. Exhale, bend your knees onto your toes. Walk to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands on your shins. Nice straight back. Gaze down and in front of you. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hands overhead. We're in our high mountain here. So when you're here, you're keeping in mind how we started today. With those hips tucked, strong core, shoulders away from your ears. Except now that your hands are up instead of by your sides. One more inhale here. Exhale, bring your hands together to prayer and then steeple grip your hands. Okay? So one more inhale, now your hands are steeple gripped. And then lean slowly back. Try to keep your biceps right next to your ears. And just melt into this here. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Fold. Step back, high plank. Shift forward. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Raise your right leg. Inhale. Exhale, step forward, crescent lunge. So right foot right by your right hand. Lift all the way up into crescent lunge. Now when we're here, your feet are in two separate lanes. Okay, keep a little better balance that way. Your knee, if you can, right over your ankle. Okay, a little farther back too is fine. Just make sure that your knee isn't like way forward over your toes or anything. Back leg is strong, straight, really feeling some opening in that left hip. And again, try to tuck your hips a little bit. Sometimes I find that if I tuck my hips a little bit more and put a slight bend in my long leg, my leg that's back, I get even more of a sensation in my hip flexor, which I like because my hip flexors are very tight. So arms are raised right overhead, biceps next to your ears. You can bring your gaze forward, you can look up, whatever serves you this morning. Coming back to your breath. I don't know if you can hear mine, but I'm definitely using my breath at this moment. Try to stay here in this moment. One more inhale here. Exhale, spin open to warrior two. So now your arms, you have one facing forward, one facing back. Knee is still right over that ankle, okay? Hips are still tucked, and just careful of your front knee. Mine tends to wanna go toward the left. Try if you can to just keep using those hips to push that knee out. Sometimes I'll even use my hand, give a little push as a reminder. Back foot is about 90 degrees, facing the side of your mat. Torso still nice and tall, spine is lengthened. You look gorgeous. Gaze over your front middle finger. Coming into your breath here. Inhale together. Exhale, see if you can sink a little deeper. One more inhale here. And exhale, go all the way down. We're going to a track star. So instead of going straight to your low lunge facing forward, you're going to keep your hips open. So you're facing the side of your mat. It's awesome. You held those for quite some time. Shift to the other side. You can lift I like to lift my toes sometimes, or you can keep your foot flat, just as if you were in a warrior two. And then at your own pace, just breathing, just kind of go back and forth at your own pace. You can do some longer holds on one side. You can make it more of a little flow back and forth to your breath. You want to add in, sometimes I like to add in a little twist on one side, and then the other. Whatever you need right now, let's do it. Bending left and right. So you inhale and exhale, go to the other side. Wherever you are, come to the center. Inhale, halfway lift and a wide-legged forward fold, or forward bend. And exhale, fold. You can stay here. You can walk your legs further apart from each other. Work the inside of those legs a little bit. Wherever you are, let your head hang heavy. Come back to your breath. When you're using your Ujjayi breath, it's kind of like a little gift for your body. Getting in all the oxygen it needs to hold these poses. To come to your meditative state, maybe. Just your breath is such a strong tool. Inhale, walk your hands underneath your shoulders, lift up to a flat back, and fold one more time. Inhale again. Walk your hands to the front of the mat, low lunge. So you're going to frame your foot with your hands, one on the left, one on the right. Back leg is straight and strong, just like when you were in crescent lunge. Except now you're down, but try to reach your heart forward. So for me, that means not putting my hands all the way flat, right on my finger pads here. Trying to get my heart forward, my chest forward. And your right leg in front. Nice. Place your hands on the mat, step back to high plank. Shift forward, chaturanga or your low plank, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And exhale. Left leg high. Step it through crescent lunge. Rising all the way up. Once your feet are situated. Nice job. And again, remembering just to breathe here. Coming back to your form. Feeling that right hip flexor at this moment. Love it. Inhale. Exhale. Lower it a little more if you can. One more inhale here. Open up, warrior two. I'm going to turn around this way. You stay where you are. That way I can see all your beautiful faces. Settling into your warrior two. And we're going to tuck those hips. Draw that core in. Arms extended, front and back. And breathing. I don't know if you can hear my breath here, but I'm using my breath to hold this pose, I can tell you that much. Wherever you are, try to lift your front toes, wiggle them around a little bit, and then place them back down on the mat. Just a little check to make sure we're not holding on for dear life. Relaxing into it. I know that sounds silly, but you kind of find that pose, that placement, where it's just, you know what? Just taking it all in, using my breath and holding. One more here. Exhale, bring it all the way down. Do a few track stars back and forth. Side to side. You want to turn into a balance this time. You can bring your hands to heart center. See if you can shift from one side into the other. Inhale. Exhale, go to the other side. Come to center. Another forward fold. This time, bring your hands, try to reach out to your ankles. So see if you can reach those here. Let your head hang heavy. Bring both hands to the center, underneath your, right underneath where your face would be. You're gonna leave your left hand where it is, and you're gonna, left hand where it is. You're gonna take your right hand and try to grab your left ankle. Left ankle, left shin, left side of your leg, anywhere, wherever feels good. And then take this left hand and reach it up to the sky. Feeling that twist. I actually also feel it in my shoulder a little bit. Really twisting it out, wringing it out here. One more breath here. Exhale, bring both hands to center. This time you're gonna leave your right hand, bring your left hand over to your right ankle or shin or whatever it is, and then lift that right arm high and twist it out. Inhale, lengthen that spine. Exhale, try to twist a little bit more. Inhale. Bring both hands back to center. And then you're going to turn facing the front of your mat with your left foot forward in your low lunge. Taking a few breaths here to appreciate this pose. And feeling that stretch in those hips, that long extension in your back leg. Awesome, opening that heart. Nice. Place both hands down on the mat, step back to high plank, and push back downward facing dog. Stay here, take a couple breaths, a quick drink of water. Feel free to do that at any time. Nice job. One more deep breath here in your downward facing dog. And exhale all the way down. Lift your right leg high to the sky. Bend your knee. Open up your hip and stack them right over each other. Try to keep your shoulders both facing the way they were in your down dog. Open up those hips. You bring your knee up toward the ceiling a little bit more. And step it through low lunge. Right foot forward. Spin all the way open to warrior two. We've been here, so you know where we are. Settle into your warrior two. Lift up those toes, place them back down on the mat. Reverse back. Flip that front palm. Reach all the way to the back of your mat, keeping your legs the same. Front knee is still bent. And here, breathing in. And then when you exhale, can you lengthen a little bit more through that right side body? Can you bend your front knee a little bit more? Get a little bit deeper into this pose. One more here. And straighten that front leg. Feel the extension all the way pretty much from your fingertips, all the way down that leg. Love it. Now you're going to leave your front leg forward, but shift your arms. So now you have warrior two arms. And with your right hand, you're going to reach, hinge at your hips, reach toward the front of the room. Can you reach farther? Can you reach farther? Head into triangle pose. So drop that right hand right next to your shin, not putting any pressure on it. Just have it hang out right next to that shin. Bring your left hand high to the sky. And I find here, I need to tuck my hips a little bit too to get that straight line. Keep a slight micro bend in your front knee just so you don't hyperextend. And you can think of this here as it's like you're in between two panes of glass. So kind of just straight up and down, breathing and lifting up too. I even feel a slight stretch right on that left side body because I'm reaching high to the sky. Do a quick check here, lift those toes, place them back down. Check in with your breath. Move your jaw all around. Relax that space between your eyebrows. Nice. Come back to warrior two and walk your back foot up a little bit. Walk that left leg up a little bit. You're going to keep your feet as they are. We're going to launch into our half moon pose. So what this means, make sure I'm in the frame here. Okay, you're going to lean in, launch off your back foot. Ooh, it's not easy. You're going to try to balance with your hips open, foot facing forward, arms spread open just like they were in triangle. Woo. If you have a yoga block, I'm going to get mine, or even just something to kind of hold on to. That's something that might help as well, okay? This is definitely a balance pose. Many people do go all the way to the ground and they touch the ground like this. Okay, so this is an option. I just find I like to have more of a length in the spine. So if you have a yoga block or a little chair, little stool, or you just don't go as deep into the pose. Okay, this is half moon. You can hold this here. Okay, you want to keep your back foot down and hold open like this. Meet your body where it is. Okay, so your back foot, I'm going to hold on to my block here. So your goal is to have your front foot facing the front of your mat, and your back foot your back leg is raised so that it's right up at 90 degrees. Okay, so you're making like an L with your legs. Your arms are outstretched, and I love this pose so much too because we're all about self-love today, and it looks like we're just about to give each other a big sideways hug. And I love it. Okay. Strong core here. If everything is tight, everything is strong, it's easier to hold this pose. Woohoo! Awesome. Nice. So wherever you are, bend into that front leg. Take a gentle step back into warrior two. Nice. Come all the way down to high plank. And drop your knees wide, push back to child's pose. Really coming back into your breath here. Knees wide, toes are together. Trying to press your hips back onto your heels, extending those arms straight out in front of you, dropping your forehead to the mat. And breathe. Come back to that Ujjayi breath. Hearing the ocean in your head. This is some time to give your body some self-love, some self-appreciation. Walk your hands back so that you're seated at the back of your mat. You can bring your knees together. Awesome. Place your hands down on the mat and lift up so that you're in a forward fold at the back of your mat. Letting your head hang heavy. Let's go into a halfway lift. Long spine. Exhale, fold. Walk your hands out to high plank. Feet about hip width distance apart. Push back to downward facing dog. Left leg high. Step forward, low lunge. Lift, twist open into warrior two. Turn this way again, you stay where you are. Left foot's forward. Lifting those toes, feeling that breath. This is our second round of our warrior two. Do you find that you're a little more open, that you can sink a little bit deeper? Maybe. Reverse back, keeping your legs as they are. Breathing. When you exhale, seeing if you can go into that reverse a little bit more. What do you need today? What does your body need? What does your mind need? Does it need this focus? Or does it need to let go? You decide. Straighten that front leg, still staying in this reverse. One more breath here. Exhale, shift your arms to warrior two arms, keeping your legs straight. Lean and we'll reach all the way forward, hinging at those hips. Triangle pose. Left hand to your left shin, right arm high to the sky. Slight micro bend in that front leg. Coming to your breath here. Lifting up, strong core. When you inhale deep, and when you exhale, can you exhale even deeper? Something to think about, something to try out. One more inhale here. And exhale, warrior two, or launching into our half moon pose, people. You got this. Try to set your drishti, which I will say, it is not easy to do. So set your drishti, or set your focus point of where you're gonna look. Try to help you keep your balance. So your left hand is gonna reach toward the bottom of your, or to your mat. Right arm is reaching high, hips are open. Flex that foot if you have it up. Left foot is facing forward. Gaze is at the mat. If you want to try to challenge yourself today, try to move slowly, move your drishti, move your gaze forward. Can you look in front of you? Can you reach? Can you look higher? Can you even try to look at your top hand? One more breath here. Bend into that front leg. Settle back into your warrior two. I'm going to turn back around this way. You guys stay where you are. You're beautiful. One more breath here. Bring it all the way down to chaturanga, low plank. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Take a breath here. Exhale. Nice job. You're going to walk your hands to the back of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold. We're going to come into low yogi squat. So you can plant your hands, toe heel your feet out. So about probably where your heels are on your mat, but your toes are off of it. And then you're gonna squat down. Okay. And I'll face you, so it's a little bit easier to show you. So your heels are in, toes are out. And you're gonna bring your hands to prayer and then put your elbows, if you can, right on the inside of your knees. Nice, this is such a nice stretch for the insides of your legs, for your hips, wherever you are. Try to have a nice tall spine. Nice job. Going back to that breath. You're gonna place your left hand next to your left foot, and then you're gonna use that arm to kind of push that leg out a little bit more. Right hand goes to the sky. So now we're gonna twist. Still in our low yogi squat here, but we're twisting while also stretching really the left hip even more, or the inside of that hip, I should say. And again, inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, try to twist a little bit more. Bring both hands back to heart center. Lengthen that spine. Inhale. Exhale, right hand next to your right foot and left hand high twist. This is something that's not comfortable for you, by the way. You can always just go all the way down to your mat and just take a seat like this. And do your twist like this. Should have mentioned on the first side, but whatever feels good for you right now. If you have a yoga block too, it feels good to sit right on that as well. Inhale, bring hands back to heart center. And exhale, place your hands on the mat. Just straighten those legs and fold forward. You can walk your feet together about hips width distance. Grab your opposite elbows for ragdoll. And bend your knees, shift side to side, find stillness. Whatever works for you here today, do that. You have already shown your body so much love today. Relaxing in this pose, staying in Warrior Two when it was hard to do so. Okay, pushing through in that triangle, trying to find your balance in Half Moon. All of those things are physical challenges. Where did your mind go during that time? Did your mind tell your body, you can do this? You can try to do this? Or did you say, not for me today? And no matter what you told yourself, it's okay. You wish you would have told yourself something different? Tell yourself something different next time. If you egged yourself on today and said, hey, yes, you got this, you can do this, this is how it's going to be best for you today. Drop your bind, let go of your elbows, shake out your hands a little bit. Toe heel your feet together. Let's do one more halfway lift. And fold. Walk your hands out. You can go through one more vinyasa, or you can just meet in downward facing dog, whatever works for you. So you can go into your chaturanga, your upward facing dog, and your downward facing dog. Or you can go right to your downward facing dog. What do you need today? Let's do that. Lift your right leg high. And we're going to go into half pigeon. with the option of also, so this is your half pigeon here, okay, and then you can go down. You always have the option of going into reclined figure four as well. So you can stay here and heading on down here to get that stretch on the outer side of your hip. Or you're gonna go onto your back, take your right ankle, cross it over your left thigh, and you can lift up that foot and reach through. So you have one hand going right in that little triangle there, and either pulling on your shin, or if you want to straighten your leg, pulling on your thigh toward you and relaxing into it. So wherever you want to go today for this hip stretch, go there. Melting and relaxing into it. Nothing to do but relax and breathe into that sensation. If you're in half pigeon, keeping your back leg nice and straight and your right foot flexed. Make sure that's not pointed. If you're in half pigeon, slowly walk your hands back underneath your shoulders and push up. And then however you want to get there, whether you drop to your right side or you push off your hands and extend your leg. Maybe do some hip circles. If you're in reclined figure four, do the same thing where you're on your back, doing some circles with those hips. And then we're going to go right into the other side. So whether it's reclined figure four or half pigeon on your left. If the sensation gets too much for you, do you decide to stay because that's what your body needs, that's what you need today? Do you back off a little bit? You should never feel any pain with this. Sensation, stretching, yes. Any sort of pinching or pain, that's when you want to back off and reconfigure a little bit. Sensation is good, just breathe into that. Even imagine sending your exhales all the way down to that sensation in your hip, trying to open that up even more. Remembering whether you're in reclined figure four or half pigeon, that your left foot is flexed.
Inhale here. Deep exhale.
Walk your hands underneath your shoulders, or you can drop your knee and your foot to the mat if you're in reclined figure 4. And we're heading into Shavasana, so it's any last movements you want to do, whether it's a long body stretch, putting your feet up overhead, whatever you want to do before settling into your rest in your Shavasana. Wherever you are, come to your back, extend your legs out long, extend your arms overhead, big inhale, stretch, 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 and exhale, Shavasana. Drop both hands on either side of you, palms facing up, tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Bring your feet about the distance of your mat or whatever feels good for the width of your mat. Let your toes hang out to the side and just breathe. Close your eyes. Shavasana.
Start to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Make some circles with your wrists and your ankles. Just starting to wake up the body. Coming back into the room. Moving your head side to side. And when you feel ready, bring both of your knees into your chest and give yourself a big hug. Forehead all the way into your knees. Squeeze, squeeze. You've done such a wonderful job this morning, showing yourself appreciation and love. And when you're ready, roll over to your right side and just rest on that side. You can use your arm as a pillow. You can put your forehead into your mat. Leaning on that third eye. Today I'm going to read to you a passage called "Loving Yourself Will Make It Better." Are you feeling powerless? Have circumstances taken a turn you don't like? Do you feel there's nothing you can do to make today better? One power that's always available to you is the power to love yourself. Sometimes we feel powerless. We have circumstances in our lives we simply cannot change, no matter what we do to create something different, to move the situation along. We can't get another person to behave differently. We can't seem to change something at work. We can't do much about our money situation, at least not at the moment. Nothing in life seems to be going our way. It's not that we're doing anything wrong. We aren't off our path or neglecting a particular lesson. The energy of that particular time in our lives is frustrating. There is no action we can take to change our circumstances. All we can do is surrender to the circumstances, accept what's happening, and stay in the moment. During those times, there is one action we can take that will help. We can love ourselves. When we can't do anything about our world around us, when we can't even seem to do much about ourselves, we can always, always love ourselves. When all our other powers seem stripped away, we can practice the power of self-love. It's one power no one can take away. Self-love will always make things better. And perhaps when a difficult time has passed, you'll look back and say, that's what I was really learning all along. The ever-present, healing power of learning to love myself. Keeping that in mind today and every day, come up to a comfortable seat with your eyes closed. Hands at heart center in prayer. I so appreciate all of you coming to practice here with me today, but even more, I appreciate your self-love, your ability to love yourself, and keeping that in mind every moment of every day. Bring your hands to your forehead, your third eye. Namaste.